Are you new to squatting? You might be making some common mistakes that can hinder your progress. In this video, we'll quickly highlight those errors and provide you with effective solutions to improve your squat technique. Stick around to learn how to squat safely and effectively so you can get the most out of your workouts. Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we're going to explore 5 common squat mistakes that beginners often make at the gym. By identifying these issues, you can enhance your squat technique and maximize your workout results. Let's dive in and improve your squatting skills together. As we go through each mistake, I'll point out key comparisons to help you visualize the differences. Remember, these pointers are meant to guide you, not to diagnose any issues you might face. Let's focus on improving your form and confidence in your squats. The squat is a fundamental movement that targets multiple muscle groups, primarily engaging your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and core. This compound exercise also involves key joints like the knees and hips, making it essential for building strength and stability throughout your lower body. Before you begin your squat, it's crucial to establish a solid setup. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart, ensuring your toes point slightly outward. This stance allows for better balance and control as you lower your body. Remember to engage your core and maintain a neutral spine throughout the movement. To observe your squat execution, consider using a mirror or recording yourself. Look for consistency in your form as you perform the movement. Focus on maintaining your knees aligned with your toes and your chest up. This self-assessment will help you refine your technique over time, leading to more effective workouts. Let's dive into our first mistake, knees caving in during the squat. This is a common issue among beginners. The mistake occurs when, in the mid-squat position, your knees collapse inward, making them almost touch each other. This unstable alignment can lead to poor form. To identify this mistake, observe your knees as you squat. You want to ensure they are tracking over your toes and not collapsing inward towards each other. Common reasons for knees caving in include trying to push yourself too hard or not paying attention to your form. This can happen when you're focusing on the weight rather than your body mechanics. On the left, you can see the incorrect form where the knees cave in. Now look at the right side where the knees track perfectly over the toes. The difference is crucial for maintaining stability. Imagine you're at the gym, ready to perform your squats. You set up your stance and begin lowering down. Midway through the squat, you might feel your knees start to cave in, almost touching each other. This can happen when you're concentrating on lifting heavier weights rather than your form. To visualize this, look at the left side of the screen. Notice how the knees collapse inward. Now look at the right side here. The knees are tracking outward over the toes, maintaining a solid base. This small adjustment can make a significant difference in your stability throughout the movement. One useful cue is to think about spreading the floor apart with your feet as you squat. This encourages your knees to track outward. Be cautious not to overcorrect by pushing your knees too far outward. This can lead to other issues, so find a balanced stance. If you're struggling, try a box squat. This exercise helps reinforce proper knee alignment by providing a clear stopping point as you lower yourself. Remember, your ideal squat stance may vary based on your anatomy and mobility. It's important to find what feels natural for you. To self-check your squat form, consider recording yourself from the front and side angles. As you review the footage, pay close attention to your knees. Are they tracking over your toes? On the left, you can see the knees caving in, which is the mistake we want to avoid. Now look at the right side, the knees align perfectly. If you notice your knees collapsing inward, try to adjust by thinking about pushing them outward as you squat. This simple observation can help you refine your technique for better results. In summary, ensure your knees track in line with your toes to maintain stability and proper form during your squats. Now, let's dive into our second mistake, shallow squat depth. This is a common issue for beginners that can limit your squat effectiveness. Shallow squat depth refers to not lowering your hips enough during the squat. You might find yourself doing a quarter squat where your hips barely drop below your knees, limiting your range of motion. To identify this mistake, pay attention to how low your hips go. If your hips are just slightly below your standing height and your knees are only slightly bent, you are likely squatting too shallow. A common reason for shallow squats can be a lack of confidence in your balance or discomfort with deeper positions. You may also feel unsure about how to maintain form when going lower. On the left, you see the shallow quarter squat with hips barely below the knees. Now look at the right side, where the deep squat shows hips significantly lower, demonstrating a full range of motion. Imagine you're at the gym, ready to squat, and you notice your friend performing a shallow squat. They lower their hips just a bit, barely bending their knees, and it looks like they're hesitant to go deeper. This can happen when beginners are unsure about their balance or feel uncomfortable with the movement. Encourage them to focus on their form and gradually work on dropping their hips lower, emphasizing that it's about controlled depth, not rushing into a deeper position. One useful cue is to think about sitting back into your heels, which can help guide your hips lower and ensure you achieve a deeper squat. Be careful not to overcorrect by forcing yourself too low too quickly. This can lead to compromising your form or straining your muscles. If you're struggling with squat depth, a wall sit can help you practice holding a controlled depth. Use it to build comfort, control, and steady effort in the position with your feet planted and your knees organized. Remember, everyone's anatomy is different. Your ideal squat depth may vary based on your body structure and mobility, so listen to your body as you practice. Evaluate your squat depth. Set up your phone or camera to record your movement from the side. While watching, pay attention to how low your hips go compared to your knees. If you see that your hips barely dip below your knees, you're likely squatting too shallow. Focus on adjusting your stance and practicing deeper squats, aiming for that full range of motion. This self-assessment can be a great tool to track your progress over time. In summary, aim for a deeper squat to maximize your gains. Focus on lowering your hips below knee height while maintaining control throughout the movement. Now, let's discuss a common mistake in squats, the rounded back. This issue can significantly affect your form and effectiveness during the exercise. A rounded back occurs when your upper and lower back hunches forward, with your chest collapsed and spine curved. This posture is unsafe and inefficient, leading to poor squat performance. To identify this mistake, check your reflection or have someone watch you. You may notice your back rounding and your chest dropping instead of staying open and straight. Common reasons for a rounded back include fatigue, lack of core engagement, or simply not being aware of your posture. It's essential to keep your spine neutral while squatting. On the left, you can see the rounded back with a collapsed chest. Now look at the right side where the spine is neutral and the chest is open. The difference is crucial for a safe squat. Imagine you're in the gym, ready to perform your squats. As you lower into the movement, you might catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror. On the left side of the screen, you see a squat with a rounded back. Your chest is collapsed and your spine is curving forward. Now look at the right side where the squat showcases a neutral spine and an open chest. This visual comparison emphasizes the importance of maintaining a strong posture throughout your squat. Adjusting your stance or focusing on your core can help you achieve that ideal form. Remember, it's not just about going low, it's about doing so safely and effectively. One useful cue is to imagine pulling your chest up as you squat. This can help maintain a neutral spine and prevent rounding. Be cautious not to overcorrect by excessively arching your back. This can lead to another set of problems. Focus on finding a balanced position instead. If you're struggling with your form, try practicing squats with a stability ball against the wall. This can help reinforce the correct posture without overwhelming your body. Remember, everyone's anatomy is different. Your ideal squat position may vary based on your body mechanics, So listen to your body as you adjust your form. To self-check your squat form, set up your camera or phone to film your movement from the side. As you squat, take a moment to review the footage. Focus on your back position. On the left, you might see a rounded shape, while on the right, the spine appears neutral. Pay attention to your chest as well. It should remain open and lifted. If you notice any rounding, try adjusting your stance or engaging your core more effectively. This self-assessment can be a powerful tool in refining your squat technique and ensuring you're on the right path to improvement. In summary, always aim to keep a neutral spine while squatting. This will enhance your performance and minimize the risk of injury. Now, let's dive into our fourth mistake: lifting your heels during a squat. This mistake occurs when you balance on the balls of your feet, causing both heels to lift off the ground, resulting in an unstable squat. To identify this, check if your heels are coming off the floor and if your weight is shifting too far forward onto your toes during the squat. A common reason for this mistake is an attempt to maintain balance or a natural instinct to lean forward, especially if you're unsure of your form. On the left, you can see the heel clearly lifted off the floor. Now, look at the right side, where the heel is firmly planted. The difference is crucial for stability. Imagine you're in the gym, getting ready to squat. As you lower down, you notice your heels start to lift off the ground, making you feel wobbly. This can happen when you're focused on the weight in front of you or trying to find balance. Now, look at the comparison on screen. On the left, you can see someone struggling with their heels lifted. On the right, the feet are flat and stable. This visual difference highlights the importance of a solid base. When you squat, try to keep your heels down and your weight centered to avoid tipping forward and maintain control. One useful cue is to focus on keeping your full foot planted on the ground throughout the squat, distributing your weight evenly. Be cautious though. Trying to force your heels down excessively can lead to other issues, so aim for a balanced position instead. If you struggle with this, try performing squats with your back against the wall. This can help reinforce proper foot placement and balance. Remember, everyone's anatomy is different, so your ideal foot position may vary slightly to accommodate your unique structure. To check your form, set up your camera at a side angle while performing squats. As you review the footage, pay close attention to your feet. You may notice this when your heels come off the ground and your weight shifts forward. Focus on the moment you reach the lowest point of your squat. If your heels are lifted, adjust your stance during your next attempt. Recording yourself can provide valuable insights into your posture and help you refine your technique for better stability. Remember, the goal is to keep those heels firmly on the ground. In summary, keep your full foot planted to maintain stability and proper form during your squats. Now, let's talk about the fifth common mistake: having your feet too narrow or in the wrong stance during a squat. This mistake occurs when your feet are too close together, almost touching, with your toes pointing straight forward. This creates an unstable base for your squat. To identify this mistake, pay attention to your foot placement. If your knees are coming together and your feet feel cramped, you might be squatting with a narrow stance. A common reason for this mistake is simply not being aware of your stance. Some beginners might mimic what they've seen without understanding the proper position. On the left side of the screen, you see the narrow stance. Now look at the right side, where the feet are just outside shoulder width, turned outward about 20 degrees. The difference is significant for stability. Picture your next leg day. You walk up to the rack and set up with your feet close together, and as you lower into the squat, you feel a bit wobbly. This can happen when your stance is too narrow, causing your knees to knock inward. For the right side of the screen, with the feet are positioned wider with the toes turned out. This setup provides a more stable base, allowing for better balance and control throughout the movement. Remember, a stable squat is essential for effective training, so finding that right stance is key. One useful cue is to start your squat with your feet around shoulder width apart. This gives you a solid base to work from. Be careful not to overcorrect by spreading your feet too wide, as that can lead to other issues. Find a comfortable stance that feels stable for you. If you're struggling with your stance, try practicing bodyweight squats while focusing on keeping your feet shoulder width apart to build confidence. Remember, everyone's anatomy is different. Your ideal stance may vary, so listen to your body and adjust as needed for comfort and control. To evaluate your squat stance, consider filming yourself from the front and side. Focus on your foot placement as you descend into the squat. Are your knees moving inward? On the left side of the screen, you can see the narrow stance causing instability, while on the right, the wider stance keeps the knees aligned with the toes. Reviewing your footage can help you identify whether your stance is contributing to any issues. Adjust your feet accordingly and try again to feel the difference in stability and control. In summary, start around shoulder width with your feet turned slightly outward for a more stable squat. Now that we've covered the common squat mistakes, let's do a quick recap. Remember, keeping your knees in line with your toes is essential to maintain stability. A deeper squat is better, so aim for a low position that feels comfortable without compromising form. Always keep your back straight to avoid unnecessary strain, and make sure your heels stay grounded to maintain balance. Lastly, adjust your stance to find what feels right for you. A wider or narrower stance can change your squat dynamics. By being aware of these points, you can improve your squat technique and build strength safely. Now that you've learned about the common squat mistakes beginners make, it's time to put this knowledge into action. Practice your squats with the right form and remember to be patient with yourself. For more tips and workouts, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Let's elevate your fitness journey together.